Hello, we are back, and today is the very last day of Henry IV, Part 2, which I would say, yeah, it's the end that we'll see of Henry IV because he died, and now we're on to Henry V, but we've got plenty of Henry V to go. We've got a whole play coming up about him starting tomorrow, so tomorrow's new play day, but today is Epilogue Day because we need to put a nice little capper on this play. It was a little bit of a, because it doesn't have like the good sort of character counterpoints that we had in Hal and Hotspur that were in Henry IV Part 1. But we do get the relationship between Hal and Falstaff, which is kind of interesting to see where that goes now that Hal has become king. So anyway, yesterday Hal, who is now King Henry V, refused knowledge of Falstaff, who was then arrested, and then King John's like, let's go fight a war in France. And then the epilogue comes forth to say, first my fear, then my curtsy, last my speech. My fear is your displeasure, my curtsy my duty, and my speech to beg your pardons. If you look for a good speech now, you undo me. For what I have to say is of mine own making, and what, indeed, I should say will, I doubt, prove mine own marring. But to the purpose, and so to the venture. Be it known to you, as it is very well, I was lately here in the end of a displeasing play, to pray your patience for it, and to promise you a better. I did mean, indeed, to pay you with this, which, if, like an ill venture, it come unluckily home, I break. And you, my gentle creditors, lose. Here I promised you I would be, and here I commit my body to your mercies. Bate me some, and I will pay you some, and, as most debtors do, promise you infinitely. If my tongue cannot entreat you to acquit me, will you command me to use my legs? And yet that were but light payment to dance out of your debt, but a good conscience will make any possible satisfaction, and so will I. All the gentlewomen here have forgiven me. If the gentlemen will not, then the gentlemen do not agree with the gentlewomen, which was never seen before in such an assembly. One word more, I beseech you. If you be not too much cloyed with fat meat, our humble author will continue the story, with Sir John in it, and make you merry with fair Catherine of France, where, for anything I know, Falstaff shall die of a sweat, unless he already be killed with your hard opinions. For Oldcastle died a martyr, and this is not the man. My tongue is weary, when my legs are too. I will bid you good night, and so kneel down before you, but indeed to pray for the Queen. So yeah, it's your typical groveling, and if you really don't like the play, then I'll do a dance for you, and maybe you'll forgive me for this really crappy play, because Shakespeare liked to apologize for his crappy plays. And this one I'll take him for it, because it's yes, it's well written, and yes, it's character study and all that sort of thing, but it's not maybe as dynamic as some of his others. There's a lot of Falstaff is just over here being silly, and these people talk about whether or not they should go to war, and then they don't, and honestly the whole war is put to sleep with, hey, if you guys stand down, we'll stand down too. And then they stand down, and then they get arrested. So I understand why this play isn't performed very much. But I would love to see a production of it done that is interesting and dynamic and engaging, and maybe someday I'll get to see that. And maybe someday one of you, my dear viewers, will be involved in that production. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow for new play day as we start in on Henry V. He only gets one part, because he's kind of been in the last two, so he just gets one. But anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah.